Hello and welcome to another real estate analysis. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because we want you to start investing in real estate using FHA loans with as little as 3.5% down. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Maxim Cruz. I am a real estate broker as well as an investor myself. And back in 2011, my wife and I decided to delay our wedding ceremony in order to purchase our first multifamily income producing property. It was a 4-unit property. We lived for free in one of the units. We got cash flow and we put very little down payment, and it was just an awesome learning experience. And now I want to share this with you and analyze different deals so you can get the knowledge and the power that you need in order to do it. Also, this video is part of a special video series that I am doing for my good friend Denzel Rodriguez, the finance geek. So if you're a Kingdom citizen or if you want to check out Denzel's channel, the link to all of that is down below to the description. Otherwise, you can go and search for it on YouTube, the finance geek Denzel Rodriguez, or search for Velocity Banking. If you don't know what velocity banking is a method of how you can move around different checking accounts, home equity lines of credit, credit cards, and how you can pay off debt much quicker. And Denzel was actually able to help my wife and myself, analyze some of the real estate holdings that we have, along with some of our student loan debt and other debt, and come up with a plan of how to pay that much quicker. So definitely velocity banking is awesome, and you can apply this to any real estate or any loans or debts that you have. So before we get into properties, let me give you my typical disclosure. Because I am a licensed real estate broker in the state of Florida as well as in the state of Massachusetts, this is for information purposes only. This is not investment advice. I always encourage people to find their licensed investment, individuals, certified financial planners, etc., because as a real estate broker, again, I'm not giving out real estate advice. This is for information purposes only. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into it and let's look at our deal. Okay, so first of all, let me start off with FHA limits. Remember, FHA limits are done by HUD. So if you go to HUD.gov, you could enter your zip code, and based on your zip code, you could find out what your FHA limits are. For Broward County, which is where Pompano Beach, Florida is located, 2-family is $478,450. 3-family is $578,350, and a 4-unit, a 4-plex building is $718,750. So this definitely qualifies for FHA financing because the current list price on this 3-unit building is $415,000, and in Broward County, the maximum for a 3-family is $578,000. So we are well within our limits. Now, anywhere that you are in the United States, over the last 13 years as I've been practicing real estate brokerages, I've actually built a team, I've actually built a referral database of agents all across the United States that I can refer business to. So if you are looking to get started in real estate investing, I would love to be able to refer you to an agent anywhere that you are located. There is no charge to you as a buyer for using a real estate broker. You actually want to work with a real estate broker, and I'm going to show you exactly why you want to do that, because we have access to details, records, materials that will benefit you as the buyer as well as the seller when you are ready for sale. If you're a more seasoned investor, if you're a syndicator, these deals that we might be analyzing here might be a little bit too small, but definitely check out my other videos where we look at some bigger deals, anywhere from 20 units, 100 units, even up to 451 unit multifamily producing property, so you could see what this looks like. And again, we're here, we would love to work with you, we would love to help you, so all of our contact information is down below. But let's get right into it, and then we could continue chatting about how we can help you out. So what do we got going on? First of all, the address, 1461 Southwest 1st Terrace in Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. MLS number F like Frank 102-03172. The property description, reads amazing find, Pompano Beach triplex, turnkey operation, consists of 1 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and 2 1-bedroom, 1 bath units. Roof is only 4 to 5 years old. All units have central AC, hurricane shutter, separate water meters, washer dryer hookups in 2 units. Rents are below market value. Then it gives us the gross income here, gives us the projected cap rate, gives us annual expenses like taxes, landscaping, insurance, and then it gives us an estimated cap rate. Perfect for experienced first-time investor. Earn income right away with little or no work. And again, I have, I like how this agent actually shows us what each one of the units are leased for, what the projected income is, which I disagree a little bit here, but again, I'm a little bit more conservative. And then he gives us some expenses and some calculations, but we would like to do our own. Right now, his estimated cap rate at this price and expenses that he's shown is 6.75 and the projected is 9.43, and I'm going to show you what our numbers are like. Again, if you would like to actually download a completely free deal analyzer, it is in Google Sheets. You can find it in the description below. So this is the deal analyzer that I'm using, that I have created specifically for this, so you could follow along. If you have a property on your own that you want to analyze, you can go ahead, plug in your own numbers, play around with it. You can't really break it. Again, you could download it as many times as you like. You don't have to enter your email address, none of that stuff. So go ahead and get your deal analyzer and start playing around with the numbers in your area. So again, this unit currently is listed for $415,000. The unit was listed, this property was listed back on November 19th, 2019. So we're coming up almost 60 days since this property was listed. So again, as of right now, the current rentals for the 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom is $1,200. The 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom is rented at $950, and the other one is rented at $925. So if you remember, we have 3 columns here that I always analyze just so you could see and start to put on your investor cap and start to look at different scenarios. The first column is the cash investment. If you had $400,000, $500,000 in the bank lying around somewhere and you wanted to invest, this is what the numbers look like. The second one is our leveraged investment using 20% down payment using conventional financing. And the last one is owner occupied using FHA loans with 3.5% down payment. So let's get into the cash one first, okay? So once we take all this number, 1,200 plus the 950 plus the 925, that is going to give us our monthly income on these units. We multiply that times 12, we get $36,900. Then from there we get into our expenses. Taxes, $5,039. Insurance, $3,000. Water and sewer, $600. Landscaping, $840. Repairs is $1,200. Now in the property description, he did say that there were separate meters, so sometimes you can bill your tenant for whatever usage, but I still like to have that as a placeholder, because if those water meters go bad, if your tenants aren't paying you extra water, etc., it's always good to carry a number on there. Also, the repairs number, I kept this number at $1,200, considering that he said it was turnkey units ready to go. I'm not expecting things to go wrong. Again, as I mentioned in some of my previous videos, you might have 5 or 6 months that absolutely no tenants call you, there's no problems, nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden either your AC coil breaks or the dishwasher breaks or something goes wrong, and then you have a larger expense, $600, $800, and then the rest of the year everything is fine. So again, this number varies. The best way to get the repairs number is just to see what's been going on over the last 24 months. Definitely use an inspector or use a general contractor that can go and kind of look at the condition that the property is in. So then you can estimate, hey, I think I'm going to need a new, shower valve, or I'm going to definitely have to replace the fridge here in the next year or so, whatever, so you can figure those things out. Then you tally all of that up and you get a total number of expenses, which is $10,679. That there is no financing. Again, this is a cash deal. So that gives us an NOI, net operating income, of $26,221. Now, remember, go back and look at my other videos where I explain some of the basic terminology. Cap rate is actually capitalization rate. This is just the relationship between your net operating income and your purchase price. So that gives you actually a percentage, in this case 6.32%. Depending on how seasoned of an investor you are, some investors have investment criteria where they say, hey, we're looking for deals anywhere between 5% and up on cap rate, or if you're, more aggressive, you might be looking for value add. Maybe it's a distressed property, so the current cap rate might be a 9.5%, 10%, but then you're gonna go in there, improve it, do all that kind of stuff, and then you gotta bring it to the market and resell it at that 6% or 7%. So right now in South Florida, actually the average is right about 5.5%, 6%. So this property is a little bit above average when you look at cap rate. But again, any bigger investor is not going to look at this because it's only a three unit, but that gives you as the owner occupied some advantage. And again, if you're just starting off, maybe this is your second deal, the numbers still look pretty good here. So again, in a leveraged investment, as you see here, pretty much all of my expenses are the same. When we get to the financing, based on 20% down payment of $415,000, our down payment would be $83,000, which puts our principal and interest on a monthly basis $1,585.02. Multiply that number times 12 gives you the annual debt service. So again, your financing for the year, all of these numbers is an annual expense or annual income. So your annual debt service is $19,020, which gives our annual net operating income of $7,200.77. Now this right here, we have COC, which if you remember, go ahead and guess, cash on cash return. This is pretty much used only in real estate terminology, but again, any investor, sometimes they have a basis of what they look for their cash on cash return number. So in this scenario, it's the relation between your NOI and your down payment, because the actual cash that you put into the deal was $83,000. So again, that relationship is 8.68%. If you're a real estate syndicate or if you're a more seasoned investor, typically they like to look for 10% and higher. So again, this 8.68 and this cap rate might be right on the borderline to what you're looking for. Now, for you as the first-time home buyer, let's see what those numbers look like. Now, as you see right here, I have an asterisk next to this 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. Because remember, when you're buying FHA, you are actually saying, hey, I'm going to occupy one of the units and I'm going to rent out the other ones. So you as the owner occupant have to live in one of the units based on the FHA standards. So again, I'm saying, okay, we're not going to count this $925 income. So what do those numbers look like? $1,200 plus the $950, multiply that times 12. We get an annual income of $25,800. The expenses here, they pretty much are very similar. Now you could take, in my analysis here, I actually didn't do this $840 number. So this right here is zero. And the repairs, I'm saying, okay, well, as the homeowner, maybe since you're living in one of those units, you don't really count your unit for the repairs. And maybe you could take care of some of the repairs yourself. Like if your tenant calls you and I don't know, there's a little water leak or something, or there's a piece of insulation missing, something simple that you could do so you're saving some money. So there, once you add all of those things up, our expenses are $9,439. So once we add the financing, which remember, because we have only 3.5% down payment, we have PMI. So that total number is $26,947.90 for the year. That NOI gives us a negative number, which means that we as owner-occupied have to put money out of pocket. So on an annual basis, you're going to pay $10,586.90. Now, you might be saying this is not such a good deal, but actually, again, if you go back to the first video, it's just thinking of how your personal cash flow works. For example, in this scenario, your monthly out-of-pocket is $882.24. Now, right now in Pompano Beach, the 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom units, the market rent is about $1,000 to $1,100. So if this individual was previously paying $1,000 in rent and now they're only paying $882.24 to live where they live, they actually have cash flow now of $117.76. For all of you Kingdom citizens, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have no idea how I came up with this number, definitely go back and check out some of Denzel's videos with velocity banking, and you will understand the power of this number. Now, like I said, this property has been on the market for almost 2 months now. And the other advantage of using a real estate broker is we have access to property history information, comparables, all that good stuff. What I actually found was that this property was actually purchased back in 2009. So the existing seller, the existing owner of this property has held this property for over 10 years now. And they bought it for $135,000. So guess what? There might be some room for negotiations. Maybe the seller wants to, sell all the units, move to the, Bahamas, or he wants to go up to Canada, enjoy the cold. Whatever the scenario is, right? There might be some room for negotiation. So let's look at this deal at the $385,000 price, which is $30,000 below what it's listed for. So again, in this scenario, I am going to increase the rent on a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. The market value right now in Pompano Beach is between $1,300 and $1,400. I'm going to stick with a lower number. And like I said, for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, it's around $1,100 to $1,200. So we're going to go ahead and plug in the lower number, $1,100. So on a cash deal where we're putting $385 cash, the income here is higher. The NOI, as you see in comparison to this number right here, our previous NOI was $26,221. Now our NOI, and I messed up on this number here, but that's all right. That's why it's good to have these deal analyzer. This number actually on the NOI is going to be, let me erase this baby right here. It is going to be $31,321. Okay, perfect. So as you see right here, we had $26,000. In this scenario, we have $31,000. So it's almost $5,000 more. Actually, $5,100 exact to be more in NOI based on this scenario. So once we calculate now this cap rate using that NOI over the $385,000, we get a cap rate of 8.14%. And again, for some of my more seasoned investors, they are really starting to like this deal now at this cap rate, at that price with that NOI. Let's look at leverage now. So if you went to the bank and got just a conventional loan using 20% down payment, your income again would remain the same. The NOI here is going to be lower because we have debt service. So again, we have our principal and interest, which is $14.70 and 44 cents per month on an annual basis. That number, goes down. So our NOI is $13,675.73. Our cash on cash in this scenario, again, cash on cash is the relationship between the money that you put in and the NOI, the net operating income. It is 17.76%. And again, the investors are probably really liking this deal now at this number. With FHA, owner occupied, and this is where it gets interesting, right? So 3.5% down. Again, I'm assuming that you're going to live in the 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. You're just a college student, or you're just started working, or whatever the scenario is. This is perfect for you. You're currently living in a studio, so a 1-bedroom is nice, all that good stuff, right? You got to go in there and you got to live in one of those units. Your income is going to be $28,800, which now brings our NOI down. It's still negative, so you're still putting money out of pocket. But for the whole entire year, it's only $3,781.23. So you see right here, it's almost $7,000 difference. Your down payment was only $13,475. Your monthly out of pocket to live in this 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit is $315.10. Now again, if you understand velocity banking, this is where it's powerful. The cash flow, Previous to this, this buyer, this purchaser, you, whoever you are, right? You were living and paying $1,000 in rent. Now, for you to live in this one bedroom, one bathroom, home that you own, that you manage, you are only paying out of pocket $315.10. So practically speaking, you are saving $684.90 every single month that you can apply towards other debt, or that you can save for future investments, right? Or that you can invest in your education and improving yourself, doing whatever you got to do. You can, negotiate with this money. You could buy some products at, wholesale price, resell them, have some extra money for you to start your own business, do something. And again, just be excited about this stuff. So this is why I love real estate. This is exactly what my wife and I were able to enjoy and still enjoy to this day. And again, today is actually January 13, 2020. And since some of you know, I follow Grant Cardone, and today he actually did a video on the Facebooks and on the YouTube saying how you can get started in real estate with as little as $5,000. And he actually said himself, that you can go ahead and buy that single family home and do all that stuff. So guess what? Grant is finally starting to realize that using FHA loans and going with a lower payment and getting some cash flow, which is what this is about on your personal finances side, it's actually not such a bad deal, right? So Grant, if you agree with me, if you watch this video, go ahead and comment. Thank you for all the life-changing stuff that you have done for me and that you continue to do for people. And again, I'm just very happy to bring this information to you. And again, for Denzel and for our Kingdom citizens, if you understand this, by owning an asset, okay, by having this additional cash flow, how much quicker you're going to be able to pay off, some of your debt. Like I said, the person that bought this property, they bought in 2009, right, for $135. So let me just confirm that number that I have here. Let's see. Yes, they bought it for $135. So let's take a look at this. So now that you have all this stuff, go ahead and just rewind it. Let me erase some things and do this scenario right here, okay? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to make some follow-up videos regarding this. This is a little bit more advanced, but let's go in here. We got some time left. I'm running fast on this video, and I'm excited, so I'm going to share with you. So check this out. 2009. This person buys it for $135, right? And let's say they didn't buy it cash. Let's say they only put 20% down, 20% down on this unit. So at $135, I believe that's $27,000, but let me just confirm. 135 times 0.2, $27,000, right? So check this out, right? $27,000. Let's say in 2009, the rents were, I don't know, let's say they were $600. And through the 10 years, they went increasing $50 every single year. So year one, it was 600 times 3 units. And again, I'm just going fast on this, times 12, right? 600 times 3 times 12, 21,600. So year 2, now it's 650 times 3 times 12. 650 times 3 times 12 gives us 23,400. Yes, I'm missing a zero here. So as you see, because I'm increasing $50 every single year, essentially $50 times 3 times 12 is an additional $1,800 of income every single year. Now, of course, minus expenses, minus all this stuff, let's just say that this person is keeping 40%. So 60% of their deal is expenses. For example, look at this right here. The income here is $36,000. The expenses are only $10,000. So in this scenario, again, I don't have management, I don't have some other things, but it's actually, you know, about 30% of the deal is expenses and 70% they're keeping in pocket. Let's say in this scenario they're only keeping 40%, you know, or just let's do that 40% number. 21,600 times 40%. So year one, right, they had an income of $8,460. Year two, let's see what that looks like. 23,400 times 40%, $9,360. So 8460 minus 9360. So it's about $900 every single year they're increasing. So let's say 9360 plus 900, 10,260. So you're increasing like that, $900 every single year. So year 10, now they've held this deal. Check this out. They put in $27,000. Year one, they got $8460. Year two, they got $9360 of cash flow incoming into their pocket. You know, year three, they got $10,260. If I add all that up, I'm pretty sure they are clear, plus $8460, $28,080 in 3 years, which means they put in $27,000 into the deal. By year three, they have already pocketed $28,080. Okay, now check this out. Oh boy, this is gonna get really good now, right? So in just 3 years, they put in $27,000 and they've pretty much made their money back, right? So pretty much everything that is happening now, you know, everything that is happening now is pure cash flow, is pure profit. I'm gonna raise this thing because this has got to get really, really juicy here, right? I'm gonna raise this list price, whatever, you know? So check this out, right? This is gonna get really nice. So after 10 years, right? Now we are in 2020, right? Let's say, just like we observed, they sell this deal for $385,000 because they're gonna accept our offer price at the $385,000. They put in 2019 out of their own pocket, let's say they did it with 20% down, they put in $27,000. Now let's say, sorry, this was in 2009. So now let's say, because it did say 4 to 5 years ago the roof was renovated, they did some renovations roughly in 2015. They put an additional, I don't know, let's say $65,000 into the deal, right? So pretty much at that point, they continue to cash flow. They're doing all that stuff. So check this out. They bought the unit for $135,000, right? $135,000. And then they did what's called a capital improvement, all right? Capital improvement of $65,000, right? So that brings their basis now is increasing. So for tax purposes, again, this property practically is worth $200,000. That's the money that they put in. When they sell for the $385,000, the difference between the $385,000 and the $200,000, that is what's called the capital gains. But it's not really that. And why? Because of financing, right? Now they have to pay back their mortgage. Sorry, that's with profits. That's really not what it is. But for capital gains, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at $185,000 of capital gains. But now they take this $185,000, they buy another property which is much bigger. You know, instead of 3 units, now they go into a 30-unit deal, or whatever the scenario might be, and then that $185,000 is actually tax deferred because they're doing a 1031 exchange. Now again, I'm getting excited, so I have to erase some of these numbers here, and let's take a look at this other scenario. So not only that, right, but again, they're putting in $27,000 and they're cashing out $185,000. Yes, then they went in and they put another $65,000, But let's see here, 27 plus 65 gives me $92,000. They're cashing out with $185,000 every single year, plus or minus. They had $9,000 of income coming in over 10 years. So that's $90,000 of income that they got. Very, very likely that this number was tax-free. And let me show you this, right? For example, this right here, the $385,000 in a residential unit for tax purposes, you have something that's called depreciation. And again, my wife is actually a tax planner. This is not tax advice. Again, this is for information purposes only. But you have something that's called depreciation. So in residential, depreciation is 27.5 years. So actually what that looks like, just to make numbers really simple, let's say you buy this at $385,000 and you divide that by 27.5 years. The depreciation on an annual basis on this is going to be $14,000, which means that you as a cash investor, you have this NOI, your net operating income is $26,221. Then you subtract your depreciation, because these are all the expenses. And again, you might have additional expenses in order to lower your NOI. So you might have your additional expenses. But let's say in this scenario, you subtract that $14,000 in depreciation. So that actually gives you $12,221 of income of that thing. So guess what? Now you are paying taxes based on this amount. And this is the possibility of real estate. So you're actually getting in your pocket $26,221 of cash flow, but because of depreciation, on taxes, you're not paying taxes of $26,221. You're paying taxes on this number. Plus, guess what? Every single year, just like this person was able to enjoy, you're getting cash flow. So this property, they went in at $27,000 plus 65, so they went in all total $92,000. But over a 10-year period, it actually paid them back. So if we take that $9,000 figure, they pretty much equaled out, right? Plus, not only that, but now they're able to go in, and the difference between the 385 and the 135, the 200,000, is that even right? $250,000 of equity that they have in there. Boom, they're paying this baby off, right? Obviously, you have to subtract your mortgage, all that stuff, so your profits might be a little bit less. But again, this scenario, actually, my wife and I, we are going to look at one of our deals, one of the properties that we still hold today, that we were running the numbers and saying, hey, do we sell it? Do we do a 1031 exchange? And then we decided to keep it for a little bit longer. But we're probably going to be looking at a home equity line of credit in order to have some possible cash that we could go ahead and put it towards something else when the right deal shows up. So again, I know I went into a bunch of stuff at this video. I'm just super excited, as you can see here. And I mean, this is the stuff that this is how people get super wealthy in the United States. Again, right now, you're going in there from paying a little bit to paying less to paying less. Then as you're buying more deals, what can this person do? Let's say year 5. So they bought it in 2009 for $135. In year 5, the property is now worth, I don't know, $225,000. Guess what they can do? They can do a home equity line of credit, or they can refinance, pull that cash out, invest it into another property, get more cash flow from that other property. So you're putting your money to work. This is the beauty about real estate investment. It's possibilities. It's what can you do. So take your consumer hat off, put your investor cap on. Go and find multifamily income producing properties that you can buy with FHA loans. Look, $13,475 is not a lot of money. In today's, if you're living in any metropolitan city, you're probably paying $2,000 in rent or pretty close to it. So guess what? first month, last month, security deposit. Some cases you have application fee, plus your moving cost, all that stuff. You're probably going to be $8,000 to $10,000 anyways to move from the unit that you're at right now to move to another unit. So why not go ahead and buy something that is actually cash flowing, that is going to lower your monthly liability, so you have more cash flow that you can pay off debt, that you can reinvest, that you can buy other properties with, that you have options, that you can do so many things, and you can actually say you're a real estate investor, and this is how you did it. So once you become filthy rich using my deal analyzer, doing all these numbers, doing all of this stuff, make sure you contact me. We'll go out to Smith & Wollensky's and whatever, just have a great dinner on you, because now you're a multimillionaire, at least net worth wise, whatever. So again, this is the possibilities, and I know because I'm experiencing it. My wife and I are experiencing it. And now, even though we're looking at bigger and better deals, it's hard for me to go and say, hey, you got to think big, right? You got to think about 20 units. You got to think about 200 units, 1,000 units. How do you get there? Start off like this, you know? Grant Cardone, you know, he says, hey, the biggest mistake I did was buying a single family home. What if Grant Cardone would have bought a 2-unit or a 3-unit building? What if he knew this stuff? What if he experienced it like this? Would he be saying the same exact stuff? I probably don't think so. He probably would have been 3 times as large as he is right now. And again, this is the possibilities. So it's going to take time, but what you're doing is you're putting your money to work for you. If you continue to pay rent, you're going to pay rent forever and ever and ever and ever. Your money has to work for you, so you don't have to work for your money, okay? Start thinking like an investor and not like a consumer. So with all that, go and check out what's in the property description. Again, get your deal analyzer. You can plug in your own numbers. If you have a deal that you want me to put up on the board and analyze, I'd be more than happy to do it. Again, I have agents in all 52 states in the United States, and I'll be more than happy to refer you to them. There is no cost, no expense to you. The seller is the one that pays the broker's compensation. So you as the buyer, you're actually not paying any fees. And again, the agents that I work with, they understand this stuff, so they're able to work with you and say, hey, I understand why you want to offer $385 instead of the $415, because the numbers here don't work, but the numbers that we did here work much better, so it makes sense. You know, let me negotiate and let's try to get you to that $385. So again, that is the type of real estate broker that you want on your side, someone that can negotiate and speak your investment language. So get excited about real estate, get excited about velocity banking, go and check out Denzel's stuff. Velocity banking is very powerful when you start combining with this, and then you can just keep on recirculating your money and growing and growing and growing your money. And most importantly, you know, saving a bunch of money, because now you're cash flow positive instead of cash flow negative. You have more money coming in than your actual expenses going out. And then again, you can start to change your lifestyle, change how you live, travel the world, do those charity events that you want to do, all that good stuff. So with that, have an awesome, awesome day. Again, I'd be more than happy to analyze your real estate deal. You don't have to send me the address so nobody steals it. You don't have to send me the MLS number. There's only 3 important information that I need, which is the purchase price, the income, so what the units are, how many units, how much are they charging per month, and then the expenses, these numbers here. Once we know those 3 items, we can calculate the net operating income. I can give you financing numbers, which again, you can get on Mortgage Calculator. You can Google Mortgage Calculator, or you can go to mortgagecalculator.com or .org. I'm not sure which one it is. And you could do these numbers. On our deal analyzer, there's actually a mortgage formula that's plugged in. So once you plug in what the financing is going to be, it'll actually tell you this is what the actual financing, principal plus interest, or if you're using FHA, principal plus interest plus PMI. It's all in there. It's all in the deal analyzer. You could use it. You don't have to enter your email. You could share it with your friends and family. And again, you could become rich, doing real estate investments. And again, once you do, just take me out to, heck, we could even go to Chipotle's. I don't mind. So with all that, have an awesome day. Continue analyzing real estate. Go out there and do it. You have all the information that you need. And again, we are here to show you exactly what we've done and how you can start doing that yourself. So with all that, have an awesome afternoon, and I'll see you on the next video.